Oh, this is the same as that. Same thing. I told you
Hey Claudio.
You'll get scared.
Hassan, say hello. Oi ba. Helal bay. Veranit. Here you go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the benefit of our new passengers who boarded the boat at Tower Pier, welcome on board. The name of the boat that you're on today, this is called the Millennium Time. As we leave here on the River Thames, we do provide all of our passengers with a short safety announcement. Now, of course, it's nothing to be alarmed about. We just let you know the boat is fully equipped with the up-to-date life-saving equipment. Around the boat we have life rings, life rafts and a full complement of life jackets. All of our life-saving equipment and our emergency exits, they are clearly marked with green and white stickers. We are in full communication with the emergency services, the Coast Guards, the Port of London Authority and every boat that we go by on our journey. In the highly unlikely event of an emergency, good luck to you all. And of course that is a joke, ladies and gentlemen. If there is any emergency whatsoever, remain calm, stay seated, take instructions which will be given out by the crew. Now as your crew, we are fully trained. You are in safe hands. Do sit back and relax. We'll be turning the boat around shortly and we make our way up the river, stopping at Westminster and Waterloo Piers, Big Ben, the London Eye. As we go through London, there are many points of interest. Unfortunately, there are no professional tour guides that work on this boat. What I like to do as we pass through London is stand here with everyone and point a few places out myself, sharing with you some of my own local knowledge by doing a live commentary. So would anyone like me to do this? A few words along the way? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Just keep in mind that I'm not a professional tour guide in any way, shape or form. So if I make any mistake, please bear with me. Don't expect too much. As I said, we're only a crew on board the boat. I'll start with all of this area to our right. This is London Bridge City, a self-contained city within the London Borough of Southwark. The area has its very own fire brigade, police force and hospital. Throughout the 80s, most of London Bridge City was owned and funded by the Kuwaiti royal family. As we turn the boat around, to our right, we have Tower Bridge, designed by Sir John Wolfe Barry and Horace Jones, being a suspension part bascule bridge. The bascules are the two parts in the middle which form the main roads. Now each bascule weighs 1,100 tonne and they take around 90 seconds to rise, allowing taller masted ships into this part of the river. The bridge was first opened on the 30th of June 1894. Throughout the early 1900s, opened up to 30 times a day when the River Thames was busy with shipping. The shipping sadly stopped throughout the early 1970s. Nowadays we see the bridge open 10, maybe 15 times a week. Designed in the old Gothic style, purely to blend in with its surroundings, mainly its neighbour, the Tower of London, which is to our right. Inside the tower, you will find more than 900 years of English and French history. The oldest part is the square castle in the middle with the 4 turrets, and that is called the White Tower. That was built in 1078 under the reign of William the Conqueror. Throughout the tower's history, it has served London as a royal mint, a royal zoo, a fortress palace and a armoury, most commonly known to be a place of imprisonment, execution and torture. Today it's one of London's oldest tourist attractions, being the home for the Crown Jewels. All of the area to our right, this is our capital city of London, one of the smallest capital cities anywhere in the world, measuring 1 square mile. It is surrounding our capital where we have the 32 boroughs of Greater London. To our left, we have the HMS Belfast, built in Belfast, Northern Ireland, at the Harland and Wolff shipyard, the same place where they built the ill-fated Titanic. Launched 1938 on St. Patrick's Day, commissioned 1 year later, and saw action throughout the Second World War and the Korean War. Permanently moored on the River Thames in 1971, she's now the floating extension to the Imperial War Museum, a full reminder of British sea power. Still to our left, the tallest building in Western Europe, the Shard, 1,020 feet tall, designed by Renzo Piano. Inside the Shard there are offices, bars and restaurants. 20 floors in the middle, the Shangri-La Hotel. On the 72nd floor there is a public viewing gallery where you can see up to 40 miles over London. To go up to that gallery it will cost around £25 each. Now if you would like to save yourself a bit of money, then visit the building to our right. This is 20 Fenchurch Street, nicknamed the Walkie Talkie Building. Inside the glass roof of that building is the largest indoor roof garden in Europe. It's called the Sky Garden. To visit the Sky Garden, it is completely free of charge. Visit their website, skygarden.london. They will give you a booking time and send you to the Sky Garden free of charge. You would not pay a single penny to look over their balcony. Ahead of us we have London Bridge, the 5th London Bridge to cross this part of the river in nearly 2,000 years. The first London Bridge was built here by the Romans in 46 AD. That bridge burned down. The second London Bridge, you might know from the nursery rhyme, it fell down. The third London Bridge was destroyed during the Great Fire of London in 1666. The fourth London Bridge started sinking, so it was taken down stone by stone, sold for $2 million to an American oil tycoon, Robert McCulloch. He had the old London Bridge shipped over the Atlantic to the United States, and it was rebuilt over Lake Havasu in the Arizona desert. The 5th London Bridge we're passing beneath was opened in 1973. To our left, behind the trees, we have the Southwark Cathedral. This building dates back to the 14th century, and baptised in the Southwark Cathedral was John Harvard. He was the son of a local butcher. John later on moved out to the United States, becoming one of the co-founders of what is known today as the Harvard University in Massachusetts. Still to our left, the Golden Hind, a fully scaled working replica of the ship Francis Drake sailed around the world from 1577 to 1580. The replica has retraced Drake's course around the world twice, doing more sea miles than the original. Now moored here in London, open to the public. Ahead of us we have the Cannon Street Railway Bridge, built in 1866. Look beneath the railway bridge on the right and there is a glass box. Sometimes, if you are lucky, you will see inside that glass box half-naked people. That is a health and relaxation spa built beneath the bridge, away from the public eye. They obviously forgot about the boats that go up and down the river every 5 minutes. Southwark Bridge ahead of us, built in 1951. The approaching roads on either side of the bridge were built in the back streets of London, and because of that, not many people were finding this bridge to use it. Throughout the years, this became London's least used bridge. The only vehicles that we see going over this bridge throughout the day are London's professional drivers, buses, taxis, coaches, lorries, people who actually know where they're going throughout the back streets of London. And as we clear the bridge, the area to our left, Bankside. In the Elizabethan era, Bankside is where William Shakespeare had the Globe Theatre. We have a replica of the Globe to our left, the white circular timber frame building with the thatched roof. The Globe opens every year to the public from April to October, and within those months it's where they reenact 2 of Shakespeare's finest plays every single day, like Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, A Midsummer's Night Dream. Many more. They are performed twice a day at the Globe. To watch one of those plays from the standing area, ticket prices could cost you as little as £5. The Millennium Footbridge ahead of us. This was designed by Lord Norman Foster. He nicknamed this bridge the Blade of Light. He said, as people walk over my bridge, it would appear like they are walking on air. I do not know what Norman Foster was on when he made that comment. Obviously not air. To Londoners like myself, we call this the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. It was opened on the 10th of June in the year 2000, 9 o'clock in the morning by the Queen. Closed down 3 hours later by the police for being unsafe. As people walked over this bridge in the morning, it was wibbling and wobbling, swaying a foot quite violently to either side. Closed down for repairs, safe to go over today at your own risk. To our left, we've got the old Bankside Power Station, which is now one of the largest modern art galleries anywhere in the world. It's called the Tate Modern. It's completely free to go inside. To our right, you'll see the Grey Dome and the Golden Cross, which is on top of St Paul's Cathedral. St Paul's was designed by Sir Christopher Wren, 365 feet tall, a foot for each day of the year. It took 35 years to build St Paul's and was completed in 1710. The bridges ahead of us are the Blackfriars group of bridges. The first bridge that we go beneath is the Blackfriars Railway Bridge, built in 1886, replacing the old Blackfriars Railway Bridge that was taken down for safety reasons. 10 years ago, more than £500 million was funded into re-strengthening this bridge and building the new Blackfriars Railway Station directly on the top. The roof of this station is solar panelled, one of the longest solar panelled roofs anywhere in Europe. This is the only railway bridge on the Thames to have the platforms and the station directly on the top. The red columns on either side of the boat are all what remain from the old Blackfriars Railway Bridge that was built in 1863, being the first railway bridge to span the River Thames. The top half of that bridge was taken down in 1880 as it became unsafe for the weight of modern trains. We're now passing the Blackfriars Road Bridge, opened in 1869 by Queen Victoria. To our right, the white building with the green sloping roof. This is the old City of London School. This school was founded by John Carpenter, opened in 1616. This is where most of this country's past members of Parliament had their early education. It's now the city office for JP Morgan, the American bank. Still to our right, the red brick building that looks like a church, Zion College and Library, a study for the Anglican clergy here in the City of London. To our left, this area we call the South Bank. This is a district within the London Borough of Southwark where we have pubs, bars, restaurants, theatres and hotels. The red and white brick building on our left, Stamford Wharf, once a warehouse, now luxury riverside apartments. Inside the glass roof of that building is the Oxo Tower restaurant. That is owned by Harvey Nichols. It's one of the nicest restaurants within the South Bank area. Now keep looking to our left and we have a golden, almost tropical sandy beach. What we call the South Bank Riviera. That is where they filmed Baywatch all them years ago. And if you believe that, ladies and gentlemen, you would believe pretty much anything. Now we call it the South Bank Riviera because on a hot summer's day, people go down to that beach. They build sand castles, have picnics, go sunbathing. It's quite hard to believe that you could find a golden sandy beach right here in central London. So we call it the South Bank Riviera. Now to our right on the river's wall we have a stone archway, Temple Gate, the official boundary line which divides two cities. The capital city of London we're leaving and the city of Westminster we've entered. The Wellington to our right, this ship served for the Royal Navy during the Second World War. She's now the floating livery hall for the Company of Master Mariners, an entertainment and drinking club for retired sea captains. To become a member of that club, you had to have been a captain of a ship at sea, and the chairman of the organisation is the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. Still to our right, we have a black and white barge with black tents on the roof. This is the former Royal Barge on the Thames. It was serving for Queen Elizabeth II throughout the 1960s. It's now a floating bar and restaurant, once called the St. Catherine, now known as the Yacht at Temple Pier. To our left, the building with the electronic display board, our National Theatre. Inside this one building there are three separate theatres, the Dolphin, the Littleton and the Olivier Theatres, which are some of the finest theatres that we have here in the UK. To our right, the white building with the green dome, Somerset House, built for the Dukes and Earls of Somerset in 1776. It's now a part of the Courtauld Art Gallery. Ahead of us, we have Waterloo Bridge. This was built during the Second World War by a brave 85% female workforce, as most of our manpower was away fighting. When the bridge was opened in 1942, it held the record of being the longest bridge to span the River Thames. Still to this day, it is the only bridge on the river that was built by women. It's still the only bridge that was built on time and under budget. So a very big well done to the girls, a fantastic achievement whilst building Waterloo Bridge. And to our right, the white building with the green tiled roof. This is the riverside entrance for the London Savoy Hotel on the Strand, the most luxurious hotel on the banks of the River Thames. And on the river's wall to our right, we have a stone obelisk. This is Cleopatra's Needle, the oldest point of interest that we go by on our journey. It was carved in Egypt more than 3,000 years ago. given to this country in the early 1800s as a gift, presented to us by a thankful Egyptian government to celebrate Lord Nelson's victory of Napoleon at the Battle of the River Nile. To our left, the building behind the trees with the glass front, this is the Royal Festival Hall, and that is the last remaining concert hall from the Festival of Great Britain in 1951, which was a post-war morale festival. To perform inside this building throughout the years, we've had some of the world's greatest, like Pavarotti, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, David Bowie, Old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra, just a few who had performed at the Royal Festival Hall. And ahead of us, the Charing Cross Railway Bridge, built in 1867. Built in to either side of the railway bridge in the year 2002 were the Jubilee footbridges. These were built to commemorate Queen Elizabeth II's 50th year on the throne, which was her Golden Jubilee. And it is a district within the city of Westminster where we have royalty, politics and our armed forces. This is Whitehall Court Mansions. Inside that building